slightly purply grey. Some hard edges, some soft. I'm not going to paint around the cowls of the oast houses, as I sometimes do if they're looking very white, because they look today fairly dark against the rather luminous sky. The blue of the sky is going to be ultramarine, slightly tamed with light red, so it's not too hectic a blue. Ultramarine on its own can be rather over bright and give what I sometimes refer to as a Reckitt's blue. As we come down to the horizon, I'm going to warm that slightly with raw sienna. Removing the surplus wash. Some of those edges I will soften. But not all of them. Now, while that's still wet, I can add a little more in the way of cloud shadow. I don't want the sky to be too busy. Right, I'm mixing up a wash now for the plough. There's a lot of that, so I want to be careful that I get the colour right. It's quite a warm reddish colour. I can put that in large sweeps. I'm going to follow the contours of the ground. You'll see why, I hope, in a little while. Using a half-inch brush, keeping it fairly light to contrast with the darker forms of the trees. I'm going to stop putting in some indication of Having put the basic wash on some of these old tile roofs, I'm now going to put a little texturing wash on the top, just to give them a bit more life and sparkle. Just a bit of shorthand really to indicate that they are not smooth shapes, they are fairly rugged surfaces. I always have 2 jars of water. The theory is that one I wash my brushes in, the other I use for mixing with paint. It doesn't always work out like that. I tend to get them mixed as I work on, but that is the theory, and probably it's quite a good idea. We're working fairly boldly, fairly quickly and fairly roughly. We're not labouring after great tidiness or exactness. We want to get the feel of the thing. I have included a studio painting in this video because although it's ideal to paint in the open air opposite our subject, it isn't always possible in practice, and often we have to work from notes, sketches and so on. But provided our initial sketch is sufficiently strong and vivid and our colour notes accurate, there's no reason why we shouldn't produce a perfectly adequate painting at home in the studio. There's a tarpaulin on board the boat, which was a more yellowy brown colour. That I'm putting in very dark because it's against the sky. As I mentioned before, I want the sky to really glow behind this almost a silhouette of a boat. I'm going to remove some of